This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I'm here with Lesley Mattina at OMG Baked Goodness on Dundas West, Toronto. How are you today, Lesley?
Fabulous.
Now, what are we going to be making today?
Today we're making the very famous herb and garlic focaccia. This is the end result, and so we're going to show you by the magic of television how we get here.
Fantastic. To the kitchen, let's go. Okay, Lesley. So what do we have here?
So this is the bread dough. It is focaccia dough, and it has had about 2 hours of proofing so far in the bin. So you can see it has proofs up in the bin. It proofs up.
Did you call me a poof?
Did you hear that? And then we put it on the table. It loses some of its air, or we knock it out if it doesn't all get out. And then now we are going to portion the dough. So the smaller portions, the ones we do for $1.25, we actually make them into stuffed focaccia, which is a miniature version of our full-size focaccia, and we stuff it with a daily mixture of vegetables and cheeses and caramelized onions, whatever's in season and whatever is fabulous. Yeah. So these go to restaurants and cafes throughout the city, and we also have them here, and they're really very popular. If you just need a quick snack in the day, or it's kind of almost just like a sandwich, all in one. So we take seasonal ingredients, whatever. I go to the food terminal about once a week, so I get whatever is best in season that day or that week.
All local?
Well, you know, depends.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely try to. I have, you know, the farmers that I go to regularly. Try. So these are some roasted sweet peppers, sauteed mushrooms.
Beautiful.
And of course, beautiful yellow zucchini.
Nice.
So we have our filling all ready to go. And we're just gonna gather up the sides, pinch it all together so that none of that great flavor can escape. Give it another little roll.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, don't tell anyone. So we do, again, a couple different versions of the stuffed focaccia. So this is vegetable stuffed. We also do a breakfast version that has softly scrambled eggs and cheese. And then we do egg, cheese, and sausage also, which is a big hit. So the shaping of the dough is really important. What it does is it gives the dough structure, which creates the semi-irregular but perfect looking loaf of bread at the end. But it also reactivates the glutens. The glutens have had a little rest when it was sitting in the bowl. So we're now reactivating them and re-elasticizing, if that's a word.
Elasticizing?
Elasticizing the glutens.
Right.
So we're bringing them together. I'm using... I know it looks like I'm using my whole hand to roll the dough, but I'm not. I'm using outside of my hand and putting a lot of pressure on the table and tucking it under itself.
Okay.
So what that's doing is making a really tight ball of dough. So it's not going to be super flat. Well, we're going to flatten it out when we dimple it, but you can see here how tight that ball is. That's exactly what we want. So we have a nice tight ball of dough. And then it's going to get 2 more proofs before it bakes. But that is what we're looking for.
Fantastic.
You can see the beautiful fresh rosemary and thyme and garlic that we have in there. So this is the magic of television moments. These loaves have had an overnight ferment. So they get wrapped up in plastic so they stay nice and moist. And the CO2 has been created by the sugar being eaten by the yeast. So it's actually alive in there. So what we're going to do now is brush it with garlic oil.
And you make your own garlic oil here?
Yes.
Really? Now there's already garlic in the dough, is there not?
Yes, there is.
So it's quite garlicky.
This isn't for the garlic shy.
Okay.
Well, So this is my favorite part, most people's favorite part. You got to use your fingers to create the dimples.
Okay.
So this is creating vents. You're knocking out some of the air. You need to control the air while it's in the bread. If there's too much air, that's when you see loaves of bread with just with a big
Yes, yeah, I've seen that before.
It's hollow right in the middle. So we want to make sure that that doesn't happen with our focaccia. So we're taking the big bubbles out, making sure there's no pockets of air.
There's a big bubbles. I touched it. Sorry, I didn't mean to touch it.
Touch it.
Okay.
And then, of course, we're giving it a good sprinkling of salt.
Okay.
More flavor. And then it's ready to go in the oven.
And how long does it go into the oven for?
It goes into the oven for, I would say, about 20 minutes, and it goes in at 500 degrees with a moisture induced oven. So there's a tray of water in there, and that creates an even nicer skin and texture. And then we turn it down to about 450, and it finishes baking at 450.
Beautiful.
Okay. I want to say we actually have been able to perfect a gluten-free version of our herb and garlic focaccia and our famous vegan cupcakes.
Is that something you've had requests for from your customers?
Yeah, it's not even a request, it's a demand, it's a roar. It is the biggest product development line that we've been working on for the past year, in the past couple months, very, very hard. And the bread has definitely been the hardest part because gluten is so integral in bread making. If you take gluten out of the equation, it's very difficult to make bread, but we've done it. We're really proud.
And how do you change the recipe to make one of those gluten-free focaccia?
Yep, so we have found the right combination of a couple of different flours, which I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, secret.
Yes, it's a secret. No, I mean, again, we didn't recreate anything. We didn't reinvent the wheel doing it, but we found the right combination for us. And I think with the amount of flavor and love that's already in the focaccia, we've had a great success with it. So we do a lot of seasonal products here, and what I mean by that, there are products that never leave us, but just alter depending on what's happening in our gardens and what our farmers are bringing in. So our clafou tea changes, our fresh fruit pie changes, our quiche of the day changes every day. So we're always going to come in here and you're going to say, what do we have today? So that's one of, I think, the most exciting things about walking in here is that you're always going to have something a little bit different and something for everyone, certainly.
Well, Lesley, with an S, thank you very much for joining us at Good Food Revolution today, and we look forward to enjoying many of your focaccia in the future.
Thanks, Jamie.